Actually, my problem's not medical. It's psychological.
Just got a call out of the blue to come in and preload for tomorrow, which is weird because I thought he said we weren't doing this stuff till it's Wednesday. This time of the year is very touch and go for just, I don't know, maybe people like having the time off, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, bills are piling up. Like maybe other people have like, oh, it looks like it's gonna rain. I just washed my car this morning. I mean, shit. Sorry, I keep saying that. It's totally gonna be raining. Work is pretty slim. Like, I'm working here and there, but not enough to sustain. And since I'm single income family with hungry mouths and freaking insurance, I just phoned my insurance company. I'm like, what's up? Like, insurance premiums for all of Alberta just went up this year. I'm like, I thought insurance is supposed to get cheaper as I get older and wiser. Why does it keep getting more and more and more expensive? Like, I have parking insurance on my 3 vehicles I don't drive, but it's like $150 a year. Just so I don't have to get another inspection every time I put them on the road, because we all know that possibly they might not pass, you know, old Volkswagens. I'm pretty sure they're fine, but to go take it into a shop, get it inspected, get told, oh, you need some BS, bring it home, do the BS, because I ain't paying someone to do it, because now I've spent $5,000, $8,000, $1,000. I'm like, take it back again, pay for another inspection. It's just stupid. I become a light duty mechanic just for that fact. I should have. It would have been something good to fall back on. In my time of needs. So we got to go in and preload some test equipment. It's Grant, so high stage. Gonna go over and snag it up without the Jeep, because when we drop them off, we double stack them, and I'm not into playing there's barely enough room. There would be just enough room for me, whatever wheeler, and the Jeep, which is some, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go snag it up, we'll bring it back to the yard, and then we'll Jeep it up, and then I guess we're gonna do cold. It's 2.5 degrees outside. We're gonna do some frack equipment. Got to get that wheeled into location too, like the pumps, blender. I don't all know what. 75% road bound. It's all elements frack stuff, so I'm not too sure. If you work in a frack, fucking cold, man. You know what I'm talking about. You know what items need to be wheeled, probably. It's been a long time since I wheeled frack equipment. Road train days. I don't know where we'll be loading it. That's going to be a tomorrow thing, I think. I don't know. Whatever. You know, just taking it cash right now, as it's springtime with rain on and off. So that kind of screws everything. Every time it rains a little bit, location's not dry, nobody's working, road bands stay on a little bit longer. It's usually like a month and a half where it's pretty hard time of the year for a lot of people, especially if you're packing a family and you're married, right? This is the time of the year that is this is the crunch on that relationship, finances, all that stuff. Trust me, I've been through it every year, and all I can say is I'm doing my best, babe. just trying to snow. Better not. I don't need that. Hopefully I hope it's decent out there. finally caught up, I guess. That's some BS. I guess we're only doing the 2 today, and then Saturday it's 19 pieces, I think, you heard. 4 trucks. I might say that for another video.
You lead the way, because if one of us is going to spin out on the hill, it'll be me.
We'll be there to push you.
Yep, fair enough.
I can certainly try, and then we'll be need a bad truck to both of us. If it's anything like this, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I just have little to no weight on my drives.
You got that wide space and yeah, I don't have a whole lot. When I got 24 pounds maybe in the bag.
Yeah, I got 60 PSI on my drives. Fuck, I might even have more weight than you. I think this trailer transfers way better than that freaking mid-Jeep does, but...
Yeah, and this pump probably doesn't weigh a hell of a lot compared to yours.
Yeah, that too.
I shouldn't have followed. Fuck.
Oh, are you fucked?
Ah, give her. You can back up.
Come on, Gerald, I got faith in you.
Mine's pretty light. I'm sure I'll be fine. Wasn't expecting all this to be in here, yeah. Should have waited a minute.
Nothing right now.